Today we're going to talk about angle relationships. Okay, we're going to have a lot of vocabulary in this lesson, so make sure you take excellent notes. Here we have an example of adjacent angles, and they are a pair of angles that have a common side and share a vertex. Remember that vertex is the point where two lines meet. So B is our vertex, and the common side here is this line BC. When I'm writing angles, so this is angle A, B, C right here, is adjacent to angle DBC. Now, notice that I have B in the middle. When you're writing angles, the vertex has to be in the middle of each angle. Okay, vertical angles are angles opposite each other when two lines intersect. They have the same angle measure. So here we have two intersecting lines. Angle B equals angle D. So these two angles here are opposite each other, and they have equal angle measures. Angle A is equal to angle C. These two lines are equal to each other. Complementary angles are two angles that equal 90 degrees. So when you add these two angles together, 35 plus 55, you will get 90 degrees. Those are called complementary angles. Complementary angles can also be found in triangles. So this angle here and this angle here are complementary because when added together, they equal 90 degrees. Supplementary angles are angles that equal 180 degrees. If you notice here, this is a straight line, and a straight line is 180 degrees. So obviously these two angles need to equal 180 degrees. So if I said that this was 130 degrees, and I wanted you to solve what that was, you can do 180 minus 130 to figure out that the missing angle is 50 degrees. Okay, a transversal line is a line that cuts across two parallel lines, and it's usually two parallel lines. So this blue line is called a transversal line. And that's going to create a lot of angle relationships. And first we're going to talk about these angles that are on the inside of the two parallel lines. And to help you, think about them as being on the inside. So these are called interior angles because they are inside the two parallel lines. And we have some relationships between the angles on the interior that we'll get to in a minute. The angles on the outside of the parallel lines are called the exterior angles because they are on the outside, so they're the exterior. Then you also have alternate angles, and so these are color-coded here. This angle here, which I'll name angle A, is alternate to this angle, angle B. And the reason they're called alternate is because they are on alternate sides of the transversal line. And angle A and angle B specifically are called alternate interior angles. And alternate interior angles have equal angle measures. So angle A equals angle B. And if you look at the brown color, if we call this angle C and this angle D, those are our second pair of alternate interior angles. They're alternate because they're on alternate sides of the transversal, and they're interior because they're inside the parallel lines. So we have angle C equals the angle measure of D. Now, just as we had alternate interior, we also have alternate exterior angles. So the blue ones here, angle A, let's call that, and this can be angle B. Alternate exterior angles are equal to each other. So again, alternate on either side of the transversal and exterior because they are on the outside of the parallel lines. And here's our last new word for today, which is consecutive interior angles. In consecutive interior angles, they are on the inside of the parallel lines, and they're consecutive because they are next to each other. So same side of the transversal and next to each other. Consecutive ulterior angles equal 180 degrees. So again, if this angle was 130 degrees, I know that these are consecutive interior angles, so this angle here is 50 degrees. And actually, if I know that that's 50 degrees, then I also know that this angle here is 50 degrees because it is an alternate, it's on the other side of the transversal, interior angle. So it's alternate on the other side and it's interior. So it is the same angle measure and same as this angle. Alternate interior. Okay, so let's do a little bit of review. We started with two parallel lines and added a transversal line. Transversal line cuts across two parallel lines. And now we're just going to review the angle relationships that we've talked about. If we look here, I have a straight line. So angle A and angle B are supplementary, and they equal 180 degrees. Angle A and angle D are vertical angles. Their angle measure is equal to each other. Inside the two parallel lines are your interior angles. If they are on alternate sides of the transversal line, they are alternate interior angles. Your angles on the outside of the parallel lines are exterior angles. And the exterior angles on alternate sides of the transversal are equal to each other. And finally, we have our consecutive angles that are next to each other, and they are equal to 180 degrees.